every fad diet you can imagine, I have done, and finally was able to get myself out of that. And in that process of not just looking at my physical weight and how to lose the weight again using another fad diet, but realizing that I had to start changing my mindset. Otherwise, I was going to be in this vicious cycle my whole life.
Hey guys, welcome to this week's episode, and I'm so excited to introduce my next guest. She is the creator of the Sassy Healthy Fit. Welcome, Hallie Avolio.
Thanks, Chantel. I'm so happy to be here.
So, Hallie, can you start by talking to us just about your own wellness journey and how it led you to create Sassy Healthy Fit?
Sure. I mean, I've always been on a wellness journey, but when I was a kid growing up, I really had a lot of issues struggling with my weight and my body image, and it really defined me. I'm also tall. So as a kid, I always towered over everybody. And so I feel like I had a lot of confidence issues around my physical body based on my height. I had, this crazy curly hair. I was heavier than most of my friends. I was never that, really stick skinny kid running around on the playground. I was always like the big girl. And people would say to me things like, oh, you're big boned, you have a big frame. And so this was the kind of stories and narratives that I would hear in my mind. And ever since basically I can remember, maybe starting in like third grade or so, I was on some sort of a diet. So I've done, every diet known to man, ranging from things like Slim Fast to Jenny Craig to Nutrisystem to taking diet pills that were prescribed or not prescribed to, doing super low carb, Atkins, South Beach. I mean, literally every fad diet you can imagine, I have done as I've struggled with my weight loss journey and my self-acceptance really about my body image and who I am. And so when I finally got to this really low place a couple of years ago after, I have 3 kids. And of course, having children really impacts your physical body. And I had really kind of let myself go and was not taking care of myself, got very discouraged, and even was in a place of really self-loathing. And finally was able to get myself out of that. And in that process of not just looking at my physical weight and how to lose the weight again using another fad diet, but realizing that I had to start changing my mindset. Otherwise, I was going to be in this vicious cycle my whole life. So when I started to do that and I saw the positive results and I started sharing my story, I was empowered to help other women do the same. And that's where Sassy Healthy Fit came from.
Awesome. So in my newest edition of my book, Waste Away, I talk about people don't have to deprive themselves when it comes to food, but everyone needs to decide for themselves, like what are their red light, yellow light, and green light foods. So red light is just, I feel terrible when I eat this. I try to avoid it at all cost. And yellow is like, I don't feel great when I eat it, but I kind of incorporate it a little bit. So for you, what are your red light and yellow light foods?
I have to say, Chantel, I also love that framework. It's such an easy way. And one of the tenets of my business and the way that I encourage women to look at themselves is to keep things simple, sustainable, fun. So I absolutely love that framework of red light, yellow light, green light. Mm-hmm. So for me, my red light foods, lately I've realized that gluten is something that really doesn't work well for me. So I do avoid glutens. Also processed foods. And I imagine that that's true for most people, but I used to eat a ton of processed food. I didn't even realize how much I was eating that was processed. So processed food, fast foods, etc. Those are definitely my red lights. If I'm to eat those foods, I just feel completely awful and my whole body just wants to shut down. And let's see, you said yellow lights. So I guess those are kind of the in-betweens. Probably more like the dairy sort of foods. Like I love cheese. Like if I'm going to eat cheese, I love it. But I know that if I eat too much cheese or too much ice cream or those things that I love, like I'm going to be paying a little bit for it, but it doesn't slow me down too much.
Awesome. Well, now the question I ask all my guests, take me through a normal day in the life of Hallie. Like what did you eat yesterday? When did you eat it? So forth.
So it's so interesting. So my focus with working with women, I work with InDemand Women. And an InDemand woman is a woman who has a lot of demands on her time by choice. So for myself, I have a lot of demands on my time. I have 2 businesses. I've got 3 kids. I'm constantly running. But if I don't eat, I feel like crap. So for me, I always start with coffee first thing in the morning, right after I do my meditation. And then I usually get some movement in, whether a walk, yoga, weightlifting, whatever it is that I do in the morning. And then for breakfast, I often do a protein shake. And I'll have things in it like nut butters, frozen fruit, tons of greens. I love putting like all the greens that I can put into that. Other breakfast items that I'll have is like this morning I had cottage cheese with an apple and then a green juice to go with that. Lunchtime is usually a salad. Sometimes it has, chicken or turkey, but a lot of times I'll also go more plant-based at lunchtime, and I'll do legumes, lentils, etc. And then dinner with the family, it kind of depends. Sometimes we do what we call a random dinner, and that's like leftovers, figure out what's in the fridge, do some like raw veggies and some protein. But if I'm going to actually cook a meal like I did last night, I'll cook a protein for the family. We'll have always a plate of raw veggies and hummus, and then some sort of more of a starchy kind of item, but usually like roasted veggies or squash or something like that. Sometimes potatoes. I don't usually do a lot of pastas or breads in our house.
Are you enjoying the summit and hearing all the great advice that you don't want to forget? Get the All Access Pass and get all the video presentations and the audio downloads of every single session. You can get the All Access Pass and listen to the summit all year long if you want. The best part is you get all of the transcripts, so you can go back and read and see every little note that they talked about. Go to fastingresetsummit.com to get your All Access Pass today.
Hey guys, Lauren here. Did you know Chantel just released her new book, Fasting of Freedom? The book is all about the benefits of fasting from a biblical perspective. You'll discover how you can see supernatural healing in your body. You will learn how to discern God's still, small whisper to guide you and help you make decisions. You will also master utilizing God's power to overcome difficult times and receive a breakthrough when you are stuck. And you will see how fasting can help you gain victory over a nagging area of sin in your life. You can order your copy right now on Amazon or go to fastingoffreedom.com. Link is in the show notes.
Hey guys, I just finished writing a quick little 20-page recipe book that has some of my most amazing smoothie recipes. Everyone that comes over is like, Chantel, you can turn a smoothie into gold. And so I'm sharing that with you free. It's got my tropical colada smoothie recipe, my extra super green smoothie that tastes delicious, and it's all for free. Go to chantelrayway.com/smoothie for your free book. I've also developed my own product line. You'll be able to get all these multivitamins that I'm doing in one pill. Each nutrient is totally legit. All the formulas are tested and science-backed without any mystery additives. Personally, my thyroid is better, my skin is glowier, I have more energy. This supplement is vegan, non-GMO, gluten and allergy-free. Go to chantelrayway.com/supplements and check them out. Now back to the show. Awesome. Well, let's jump right into the listener questions. And this first one is from Krista in Madison. I'm not a coffee drinker, and I used to get my caffeine from Cokes. Since giving up Cokes, I struggle with my energy level. Are there any supplements I should take, or is there anything else I can do for energy? Krista in Madison.
Ooh, that's such a good question, Krista. And especially for in-demand women, energy is key, right? If you don't have enough energy, how do you get going throughout the day? So I'm not a doctor and I can't really speak to the supplement side of things, but what I tell women about energy is a couple of things. Number one, you have to stay hydrated. So water is hugely important. One of my metrics that I stick with in terms of water is try to drink half your body weight in water daily. And it's one of the best things that we can do for our bodies and definitely to give ourselves more energy. The other question I would have is, that's so awesome that Krista, you are getting yourself off of soda and Coke and having all that caffeine boost, because that's obviously not a great tool for your body. But are you getting enough sleep? So if you feel like you have low energy, I would really encourage you to look at how much sleep are you getting at night and make sure that you're getting the recommended 7 to 9 hours. Because if you're not, then you might need to do some restructuring in your day so that you're getting enough sleep so that you can properly fuel your body to boost that energy that you're looking for.
Yeah. And I've heard about, and I've tried it one time. I've actually weaned myself completely off of all coffee, all tea. I don't have any caffeine at all. But there's a new product out there, and they've kind of said that it's a mushroom coffee. Have you heard? What?
The reishi mushrooms?
They're all different kinds.
Yeah.
But it's like some of it is like chaga mushrooms and they're ground up and they're used for tea. It kind of looks like black coffee. And they say that it has multiple health benefits like anti-inflammatory properties, antioxidants. And I know Four Sigmatic has a good one that they have, but lately I've been just literally like in the morning when I wake up, I have water and nothing else.
It's so good. I mean, it's so easy. I mean, I have, my giant water bottle and it's 40 ounces and I fill this up 2 or 3 times a day. So I think if you, nothing else, just keep drinking water.
Yeah.
The worst that's going to happen is you go pee a lot.
Well, the thing about it is that it's just, the problem is the highs and the lows that it gives you when you're so addicted to caffeine and then you've got all your highs and your lows. It's just like, who wants that? For
Absolutely.
me, I just weaned myself. I was only drinking 1 cup of coffee a day or 1 cup of tea. But then I just said, you know what? I'm just weaning myself off. And then I went from 1 cup down to 3/4 cup, then to half. And then I have nothing. But the ground mushroom coffee would be my suggestion for this girl. Okay, this next one is from Caitlin in Charleston. I'm a single mom of 2 young children. Their father lives out of state and isn't very involved. I work full time, and between trying to work out daily, shuffling the kids between sports practices, and doing homework, housework, and cooking, I just feel physically and emotionally drained. How can I stay positive when I have so little time for self-care? Tips?
Oh, that's so good. And my heart goes out. I mean, that is a lot that she is dealing with, 2 kids, single mom, etc. My number one tip for this woman and for anybody listening that this relates to, you have to ask for help. You have to ask for help. So if that help means that you are asking a friend to help watch your kids so that you can go do something for yourself, or if you have a family member available to you, or if you have the opportunity where you can spend a little money and hire somebody to help you out, you have to count on your village. That's number one, because you cannot do it alone. That is not possible, especially as a mom, a single mom of 2, working and doing all the things. The other thing is you have to have grace with yourself. You have to have grace with yourself that you can't be all things to all people all the time. And sometimes we want to be superwoman. We want to be supermom. We want to do it all. We want to take care of ourselves. And, we want to show up. And sometimes we show up all the way at the cost of ourselves. So you have to really examine your day-to-day life. And if you're working out every day, that's awesome. But maybe you could cut back a little bit. Maybe you don't have to be hitting it hard at the gym every single day. Maybe that's 3 days a week you do that. And 2 or 3 days a week you go on a walk with your kids or play with them at the playground. That's such an awesome way to get a workout in and have quality family time. 2 for 1. So I think you just need to be a little bit creative. And also don't forget to ask for help, because know that there are people out there that will support you. And that's my whole mission, is to help women come together in community. And if you're listening to this and you want to be connected so that we can talk, I'd love to be in connection with you and connect you with some awesome women that will help support you on your journey.
So if you had to say the top 3 things for you that helped you lose the weight, what would those 3 things be?
The top 3 things, I mean, that's a great question. I think personal development, number 1, really changing my mindset. Because like I said, I've lost weight. I've lost 30 pounds again and again and again and again and again. It was like a vicious cycle. Lose the weight, gain the weight, lose the weight, gain the weight. And for me, it wasn't until I changed my mindset that I really kept the weight off. So it was doing personal development and understanding the power of positivity, of how to leverage that in my life. The other thing is consistency. So figuring out ways to keep my activity consistent, because I used to be really extreme, right? Like I'd be that person that's like, January 1st, I'm going to hit the gym hard. I'm going to go at it for like 3 months and I'm going to lose all this weight. And then come 3 months later and I'm like, yeah, I'm bored. I don't want to do it anymore. Right? Because I like went too hard in the beginning and I didn't have like that slow, steady pace. So that was number 2. And number 3, I practice affirmations. And I tell myself literally every morning, I get up and I stand naked in front of my mirror and I say to myself, I love my strong and healthy body. My self-worth is not determined by the number of the scale. And I tell myself that like 2 or 3 times, standing in front of the mirror and saying that every day, I'm telling you, that is probably the best tool that I've used in my entire life to keep the weight off, because I know that I do have a strong and healthy body and that food is not comfort. I used to use food as emotional support. Food is fuel. Food helps me have the energy to do the things I need to do. And yeah, it tastes good too, but it is not my emotional blanket, you know?
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure having you on the show today. Thanks so much for joining us. Tell listeners where they can find you and how they can follow you.
Thanks, Chantel. It's been so much fun to be here with you as well. And I'm so appreciative of the opportunity. I would love for your listeners to find me at my website, which is sassyhealthy.fit. And also I'm always on Instagram at sassyhealthyfit, so they can find me there as well.
Awesome. And if you have a question that you want answered, go to questions@chantelrayway.com. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.